gentlemen, welcome back. This is the Pack Daddy NFL YouTube channel. We're doing another 7-round mock draft, and this time we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's right, it's the Jaguars, not the Jaguars. Stop calling them the Jaguars. Where is there an I in that name? Wire? How is it a Jaguar? Get out of my life. I'm sorry. This is way too early to start ranting. I apologize. This mock draft was done by Mikey Jr. That's what I'm calling him. Could just call him Mike or Michael, I suppose. Whatever. I don't know. He didn't specify, so I'm going with Mikey Jr. There also seems to be a discrepancy once again. Same exact situation happened with the Bucks between the FanSpeak draft order and the Tankathon draft order, which is the one I use and trust. But it's not as much of a discrepancy. This is fairly similar. It's just a matter of whether or not they have a 5th or a 6th round. One of them they do, one of them they do not. So it doesn't make that big of a difference. But before we get into it, let me just quickly go through the list of instructions. First of all, I want every single one of you to subscribe to this channel and get into the Facebook group. There are far too many viewers to not have more subscribers and more people in the Facebook group. It is a disgrace to what I have done here. You're making me look bad. So just make sure you do it. Also, check the description below. We've got ways that you can support me, donations, etc. I'm not going to go through my list of why I need money because it feels pathetic and I'm tired of doing it. Just give me something if you want to give me something. Facebook group is in the description. There is a website that I'm working on. It's not finished, but please check it out and just have some fun and let me know what you think. And also, this FanSpeak... this is a FanSpeak giveaway. That's why he did this. The FanSpeak giveaway as quickly as I can. Get in the Facebook group. Check out the events. You'll see all the details there. But essentially, you go to FanSpeak. You do a 7-round mock draft. You submit it to me and a couple other things that I tell you to do for me. And you are entered into a contest, the winner of which gets a free 1-year subscription to the premium FanSpeak subscription thingy. And if you don't know what that is, FanSpeak is where you can do your own mock draft. It's a lot of fun, but with the premium subscription, you can do trades and all that kind of stuff to really round out the GM experience. It's a ton of fun. I have it. I do it daily. I'm always frustrated because I never feel like I do a good mock draft, but that's life. That's what it's like being a GM. And before you leave a negative comment in this, be sure to head over to FanSpeak and give it a shot yourself. I have a feeling you'll be much more sympathetic to anyone who does one of these mock drafts because it's extremely hard. On with the show. With the 27th pick in the first round of the 2018 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Mark Andrews, tight end, Oklahoma. Here are the notes from Mikey Jr. I've mocked Andrews to the Jaguars twice in our first round drafts and figured there wasn't any need to change that. He's an instant starter and is easily comparable to Greg Olsen. That wasn't his fault. I just can't read. So yeah, Mike has been in our group for quite a while. Big contributor. He does a lot of our mock drafts, which is something else that we do in the group. Not only do we just toss tons of stuff around, a lot of people, a lot of knowledge, a lot of opinions, good guys in there. Be sure to get in there. But we do full mock drafts. We got them going all the time, just kind of on a constant loop. So the videos in my channel that you see of me doing full first round mock drafts, and one of them we even did a second round, which is what we're doing this week, that is all user participation. I just say, hey, what team do you want to draft for? You give me your team and I put you on the list and you get to draft for your guy. It's another way to have fun and get the full GM experience. But anyways, yes, he has done this several times, Mark Andrews, and I tend to agree that that does tend to make a lot of sense. It depends what value is there and all that kind of stuff, but it does seem to make a lot of sense. He seems to be at a good value there. There doesn't seem to be a lot of other very good need value type picks in that spot. And the Jaguars have been just kind of like hole filling, right? They're going out and paying for all these people. They're clearly seem to be going all in, is my perception as an outsider looking in. And if you're just trying to fill needs, which is, look what they did with that defense. They went out and paid for all this amazing defense, and they're getting into the playoffs, and who knows how far they'll go. They could end up winning a Super Bowl. I don't know. But assuming they don't, which I think most people are assuming that, one of the big needs that they need is a tight end, and they got a real good one here in Mark Andrews. As I said in the last video, if you didn't see it, be sure to hit up the comments, because what this is somebody who knows what they are talking about, which is Mikey Jr., and me, who is just trying to act as a translator from the guy who knows what he's talking about to you. But you also, Jaguars fans, be sure to get in the comments section, because none of this is absolute science. Nobody actually knows what they're talking about. So if you disagree or if you have a different opinion, First of all, I'll get in the Facebook group, as I've said 19 times already, but feel free to jump in the comments section and comment your opinions. The first pick going tight end. With the 59th pick in the second round of the 2018 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Josh Allen, quarterback out of Wyoming. So one of the issues with Fanspeak is, for some reason, their draft boards and everything kind of make it so that some people slip entirely too far. I think Josh Allen going in the second round was not all that crazy maybe like 2 days ago. I don't know if anyone would have thought he would go that far in the second round. Maybe early second was kind of where he was expected to go. But news has broke across the internets that he will not make it past the first overall pick because Dorsey, the new Browns GM, absolutely loves Josh Allen. He fits the Carson Wentz mold. He fits the Mahomes role, who he drafted over for the Chiefs. Apparently he just absolutely loves the guy, and it is beyond of a shadow of a doubt for at least somebody that is in the know that Josh Allen will be the number one overall pick, which as a Packers fan, I love that because I want as many quarterbacks to go as possible. If 4 could go in the top 13, that would make me very happy because that means some serious talent is going to fall to the Packers. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I don't think this pick is very realistic, but let's get to his note anyways. Josh Allen is a first-round talent that fell to me at the end of the second round. I figured at very least I could use an upgrade at backup quarterback, and if Bortles is a complete disappointment next year, we can let him go after his 5th year is done and run with Allen as a starter. So getting a backup quarterback in general does seem to make a lot of sense. He had a better year this year, but he definitely is prone to, we'll call it suckage. So I don't think Josh Allen is going to be the guy that's available at the end of the second, but taking a quarterback in general at the end of the second, I think is something we could consider for the Jacksonville Jaguars. With the 91st pick in the third round of the 2018 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Deshaun Elliott, safety out of Texas. The notes? Glad you asked. Deshaun Elliott was simply filling a need. Barry Church isn't getting younger, and depth at safety shouldn't be all that difficult to get. Maybe overpaid for a backup for a couple years, but if he can take over at safety in his third year, it can definitely make him a huge asset. So that is Jacksonville Jaguars nerd speak. As somebody who is not in the know, that just went completely over my head. I don't know anything about who's in what contract year. But I at the very least understand the fact where he said he overpaid for a safety that is going to be depth, because as I look at this team, safety is not a need at all. So definitely going for depth here, at least until these guys get hurt or get cut or retire, whatever the situation may be. But I don't know. You let me know what you think. I think maybe it's a little early to go for depth, but we're talking third round. I don't know. I don't really know. I suppose it's not all that uncommon. It's definitely not an impossibility. You see that happen all the time with teams. You definitely have players that get picked at positions that don't seem to be needs. And then very often they do end up becoming needs. People get hurt very regularly. People end up getting cut, and then you have this guy step up, and you're very grateful for it at that time. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. With the 129th pick in the fourth round of the 2018 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Isaiah Oliver, cornerback, Colorado. I don't know why I cannot remember what team I'm doing. Maybe it's because I've done like 2 of these back to back, and I almost said Packers there because it just, I get stuck on that once in a while. But here's his note on Isaiah Oliver. Isaiah was a value pick. Late first talent at the end of the fourth was too good to pass up. Besides, he can step in at the nickel role as a rookie, making the value and his personal positioning simply too valuable. So obviously, at first glance, you look at corner and say, what in the world would you ever draft a corner for when you have probably the best duo, I don't know, ever? It's ridiculous what they have over there with Boye and Ramsey. But he did mention slot corner. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing Colvin. I don't know for sure if that's your slot corner or if this is filling in or whatever it is. But that is Pro Football Focus has Colvin in there at the slot. He's not horrible. As a fan of a team that has horrible corners, I know what horrible is, and I'm not looking at a horrible corner. But is it up to the Jaguars' new standard? Clearly not. So if this guy can play slot I see he's 6'1", 194, so I don't know. In my mind, I'm thinking smaller, but if he can play as a slot corner, then absolutely, why not take a swing at that? I mean, if you can get this guy to even come in and be, I don't want to say mediocre because you've already got a mediocre slot guy, but he doesn't even need to be elite. You've got elite covered. You got elite covered all over that defense. If this guy can just come in and be good as a slot corner, what an awesome luxury that is. Like, yeah, we're pretty good, but man, we'll just take a swing because what if he's kind of good? Then you just can't throw the ball on us ever. That sucks. Sorry. That is an awesome situation to be in. I don't know. I like the pick for that reason. Let me know what you think. With the 205th pick in the 6th round of the 2018 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select linebacker out of Wisconsin, TJ Edwards. Man, I butchered that. I just need to be done. I cannot do 3 in a row apparently. But it always makes me smile when a Badger goes. I'm broadcasting from the Pack Daddy Studios, aka my basement here in Madison, Wisconsin, so it's always nice to see a guy like TJ Edwards going in one of these mocks. Here are the notes. TJ Edwards was looking for depth at linebacker with Paul Peluzny's injury history and age being a concern. Besides the fact that Paul may not be back after next year, this is being cautious and having a plan in place. That's what good GMs do. It's not about just filling in the holes. Right? We got to play smart football. We got to look to the future. This isn't about winning the Super Bowl this year, which maybe that's somewhat what that tight end pick is, but we got to play for the future. We are perennial. We are the next New England Patriots. We are the next great franchise. We are the Packers. We are the Cowboys. We are the Steelers. We are whatever, right? That's going to be us for the next 10 years. You're going to be hating on the Jaguars because we're winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl. You just can't stop us because we drafted TJ Edwards. It was a little bit of a leap, but you get what I'm saying, right? That's what we're shooting for. That's what every team should be shooting for. Next up, with the 231st pick in the 7th round of the 2018 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Austin Bryant, edge rusher, Clemson. So this is a little bit later than I would expect to see him go. I don't expect to see him 7th round, but I have seen him fall dramatically down the draft board, and I have heard several knocks on him. There's 2 guys that are almost assuredly going in the 1st round, with Christian Wilkins and Clelin Ferrell. And the one big knock I've heard about Austin Bryant is that if he looks good or if his stats look good, it's because he played on such a good defensive line. You got guys like Clelin Ferrell scaring quarterbacks into his arms or whatnot, so that inflated his value and how good of a edge rusher he really is. So I don't know if he's a 7th round guy, but I don't really expect him to be a top half, maybe 4th-ish round. I don't know. We'll see. But let's get to his notes here. Austin Bryant is depth at pass rusher. There's not a ton to say there. You can never have too many pass rushers, and he can certainly be brought in to spell the pass rushers that will be on the field most of the time. It's a very popular saying, you can never have too many pass rushers. I don't know who said it, but I will continue to disagree with that person. You can have too many at some point. I mean, right? You can't have 53. That's too. I don't know. This is why you can't watch, action movies with me, because I'm just sitting there talking to you about why it's so unrealistic. Fast and Furious. I can't watch that garbage. It's so stupid. A car can't do that. But I guess I get it. You got Calais Campbell. You got Yannick Ngakoue. Those are 2 solid guys. You got... as I'm looking at it, this is a lot of real young guys. Dante Fowler from a couple years ago. I believe he was a 1st-round guy. Carroll Phillips. I think he was in a line... Were Phillips and Smoot both Illini guys? Or am I getting that wrong? Carroll Phillips and Dwayne Smoot. I feel like both of them were. I don't know. But I remember both of those guys. Hunter Dimmick, Laurenti McCray. Not a whole lot of talent or production out of these guys, but a lot of youth. So taking a lot of swings, and you got to assume at some point one of these guys is going to step up and become something. You've got 2 really solid guys, but as was mentioned, there is some age issues, especially with Campbell. Yannick obviously being a pretty young guy, but Yannick is another example of a guy that did not start off real well, but became quite good. It took a massive 2nd-year leap. Dante could take a 3rd-year leap. You could see Carroll Phillips or Dwayne Smoot or one of these guys taking a big second-year leap. You never know. So Austin Bryant, clearly sticking with the motto and mantra that you can't have too many because we're taking a lot of swings at this position, and it makes sense. I mean, as much as it's logically incorrect that you can't have too many, you do need more than two. I'll give you that much. So we'll find a compromise there. They have two. They need more than two. They've got a lot of youth, but haven't seen much from them, and he's not investing a lot in it. This is a late, what is it, 7th round we're in now? So yeah, absolutely. It's 7th round. We're just taking another swing because we need to find someone else. Next up, with the final pick, the 246th pick in the 7th round of the 2018 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Ike Boettger. I never know how to. I've mocked that guy like 3 times. I never know. I could just watch a video or something and see how to say his name, but I don't want to. It's such a weird name. Why is that your name? Offensive tackle out of Iowa. Here are the notes. Ike was simply more depth at tackle. He can come in and compete for a potential starting job at right tackle. There you go. So the one thing I find interesting, and I'm starting to say this every single time, everybody seems to have a lot of pride in their offensive line, and I don't really understand why. I'm looking at this, and he's saying this will be depth at offensive line, and I'm looking at it, and I'm checking Pro Football Focus. I know a lot of you hate that for some weird reason, but I'm looking at it. I don't know where you have a good offensive lineman. What is depth? What depth? What are you talking about? Brandon Linder? Okay, he's pretty decent at center. Okay, fine. Jeremy Parnell? Average. Outside of that, oh my goodness, this is bad. Patrick Omame? I don't know who that is. He's terrible. Tyler Shatley? What a horrible name. That is unfortunate, and he's terrible at playing guard. AJ Cann? Horrible. Chris Reed? Terrible. Josh Walker? No good. Josh Wells? Trash. Cam Robinson? Unbelievably horrible. So, yeah, clearly Mikey Jr. here does not feel a need to go out and get some offensive linemen. And maybe when you've got a punishing running back like you've got that's making people look silly, just smashing through that offensive line, he makes it look like things are better than they really are. I'm looking at it and saying, hey, we got to help out Blake Bortles with more than a tight end. Let's see if we can get some guys that can actually pass block. And on top of that, we've got this young stud running back. Maybe we should try to help him out a little bit. Right? I mean, if we're genuinely going to be a ground and pound type of team, which is a team that's not only runs the ball hard, but we got a real good defense, so it's just going to be grind you down to nothing and beat you 9-6, but that's how we win this football game. You still need a good offensive line that's going to be able to support this team. I don't know. This is me versus Mike on this one because I'm going to have to dig my heels in once again on offensive line. I don't want to care this much about offensive line. I really don't. It's such a boring position for me to care this much about. But my goodness, why does nobody care about having a good offensive line? I don't get it. I don't know. Let me know immediately in the comments section, Jaguars fans. Do you have a good offensive line or not? Who is good on your offensive line outside of Linder, who is not even graded as good? I mean, he's close enough. We can call him good. Jeremy, what's his name? Jeremy Parnell? Meh. I don't know if I can call him good. I think I'm sticking with average. Everyone else, real bad. And I'm not even seeing, there's nobody here on IR like most teams where it's like, oh, never mind, you just got half your team on IR, you got a great offensive line, I was wrong. No, I wasn't wrong. Nobody's on IR. Everybody's fine. Everybody's terrible. You need offensive line. If I'm Jaguars, fine, maybe I'll grab a tight end. Everybody else in this draft is offensive line, and that's it. That's a joke to some degree. Anyways, that's it. We're going to leave it at that. Let me know what you think in the comment section. But before you do that, don't you even think about commenting before you subscribe and get in the Facebook group. And as a matter of fact, get in the Facebook group and go talk to Mike himself. He's there all the time. He will probably respond within 45 seconds. Just be a man and call him stupid to his face. Or be a man and call me stupid to my face. Get in the Facebook group and do it. Even still not even to my face. I would just rather you do it in there. Let's just talk in there like adults. Can we do that? Anyways, you folks have yourselves a fantastic day. We got more coming up. Take care.